everyone, welcome back. I am in Royale High today because I got a couple of comments recently asking, how do you build and decorate in Royale High? Now, I am by no means an expert at building and decorating in Royale High, not by any stretch of the imagination, but I will give you a few tips and pointers that I've learned since we've gotten dorms that we can decorate in Royale High. Before we get into that though, I want to let you know that I did test a couple of ASMR videos for Royale High specifically, but like the greater Roblox here on this channel. They don't do as well on this channel, which is completely understandable, and I'm fine with that. They do much better on my more JSimLady channel, where I post lots of different games, long plays, cozy plays, no commentary plays, ASMR, ambient type videos of all sorts of different games, and where I live stream on Friday afternoons as well, including live streaming Roblox. So go check out more JSimLady, and if you'd prefer in the future that I put and or keep ASMR, long play, cozy play, no commentary play videos on this channel, then just let me know down in the comments. Otherwise, go over to more JSimLady to check those out as well. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk about decorating. I am standing in an empty dorm here, and the first thing I want to show you and point out is that this back here looks very different from this up here, right? They have two very different window styles going on, and I'm doing this at night so we get the fewest announcement interruptions as possible, so you'll have to bear with me. But as I said in my last Campus 4 video, I didn't know that they were going to take the entirety of Campus 4 down and completely redo it. But I stand by what I said in that video. First and foremost, the windows don't match. In any way, shape, or form are those even remotely similar styles that would go together. So at the very least, they're going to take out these windows and replace them with these windows over here. That is like possibly best case scenario if you love having windows on both sides. Worst case scenario is they're gonna get rid of this altogether back here and not have two balconies. I mean, if you look at this here, this is nothing but sky void, and you've got pieces of the hallways from down below sticking out on either side here. So clearly this is an unfinished area here, right? And why have a balcony overlooking sky void when you have this balcony here, which is absolutely gorgeous, overlooking this? I mean, look at that. Why would you want sky void balcony when you have this? I would much rather look at this. Ooh, especially at night. Look at how pretty that is. Wow, that's gorgeous. I love that. I love this game. It's beautiful. Anyways, that being said, I do believe they are gonna change this. To what? Who knows? When? Who knows? I do not have insider information. I just know that nothing about this back wall makes sense in the context of this. So it's gonna change. Somehow, somewhere, someday, it's gonna change. So don't get too attached to whatever decorating you do that involves specifically these two windows back here. Be prepared to change it in the future to accommodate whatever goes back here instead. Whether that's a blank wall with a doorway that leads into a hallway, or two different windows here that match the front and you can't go out there and it's just a backdrop kind of like it was in Campus 3. And now it is daytime. The nighttime goes by so quickly. Let me turn down the lights a little bit because it gets really bright in here. With that being said, there are some things that you can do to spruce up this gigantic dorm room. And the first is being cutting it into smaller rooms. Now, most of us who started ages ago doing this use the Teen Dreams platform, and this thing is so versatile. You can create a almost second story like area or a lofted area in your dorm, but it also makes cube shapes that you can like stack and turn into various different things. It has table shapes to it. You can make it smaller, you can make it bigger, you can make it whatever size you want, turn it into whatever you want. You can keep transforming it, and you have this shape here which can be used to create a room underneath if you this is the only part about building in here I don't like, is you're attached to your character. Anyways, you can create a room underneath of it. If you have the separate Teen Dream stairs, then you can create a balcony spot, put the separate stairs up next to it, and have an even better lofted bedroom. This thing is so versatile. It's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. And then there is just this piece right here, which a lot of us who've been building since the beginning use as a wall piece. Now, I have no tips for how to work this thing. It's just a matter of playing around with it till you get the feeling of what way your objects are going to move, left, right, front, back. Like, you just have to keep pressing buttons until things move the way you want them to and you get used to that movement. You know what I mean? And then you can just move this around, move it up and down, and best of all, make it big, real big. Like, you can have it go all the way to your ceiling, which is kind of hard to see, but you can make it so big it literally goes into the ceiling there, and then you just move it until it hits that back wall and bring it over to whatever size room you want. So let's say I'm gonna put a bedroom back here. You can work it so that it lines up with that, which is not always easy to do. You have to do it just right, but you can line it up. I think I've got it fairly close, honestly. And then it creates a wall there, like so. And what some of us do now, I know some people have been able to create really fun doors. And I am not that kind of builder. If you're looking for that kind of building, you have come to the wrong place. I do something like this. And this was a trick that my daughter showed me a while ago. And these curtains are pretty long, so you can move them up fairly high, and then you move them forward like that, and you have a room with a curtain separating it, and you can close that curtain and have a little bit of privacy. Now, obviously, it is not by any stretch of the imagination perfect in any way, shape, or form. You could probably even make that slightly bigger so that there's no gap there. But then you run the risk of this happening where it peeks out the wall there. And I don't think you want that, but you could do something along those lines, and then there's less gap there, like that. And then when you open and close them, when you open and close them, there's slightly less gap there. At least at the bottom anyways. It's still there, but it's a little bit better. And you can put a bed in here. You can put pillows on that bed. Let's get a light in here. So you have your own little bedroom now. You can put a nightstand in there like that. Let's rotate that. Nope. Again, really difficult to get the hang of this stuff. You gotta remember which buttons are which, basically, and you do get the hang of it if you build enough. I haven't done any building in here in a while, so I forget all the different controls and how they work. But there, you have a nightstand, and now you can place a bed here. This one's a little bit smaller than the other dorm room I created, so probably what you'd have to do is put this bed in this corner here, and then move your nightstand there with your lamp here like that. And there you go. You have a little bedroom here that's kind of sectioned off from the rest of your dorm room. You can put the curtains then over the window and close that up. You can put hanging lights in here. I have a few here somewhere if I can find them. Here we go. So you can not use the lights that come in the dorm, and you can put hanging lights up instead. And these have a few different options here. You don't want it too low, so I suggest making it super short, but then maybe sizing it up. Can we make it even shorter? There we go. Now you want to size it up a little bit, like that, to make it as big as possible. Maybe move it over a little bit. And there you have a hanging light in your bedroom now. You could turn this little space here into a living room, perhaps. Maybe make a small bathroom back here using the wall dividers. And even curtains to just kind of divide everything off, and a little kitchen here. Another thing that I did was take a Teen Dreams platform and turn it into just a regular cube like this, if I can find it. There we go. And I shrunk it down a little bit, and then I moved it, let's just grab it and move it against the back wall like that. And then I took this accent floor ceiling piece, I placed it on the front, and then I just kind of shrunk it down. And you gotta work with both of these items a little bit to get them the right sizes. Right now, I don't think they're gonna be the right size. You need to make like this one maybe a rectangle piece perhaps. But it does kind of look like a door on like a cabinet, and then you can buy some handles, and you can put handles on it like that, and you can make some kitchen cabinets like that. It's actually really super easy, and they have some like plates for a tea set like that, and they have some cute little erasers that look like food like that you could put on the little plates there like so, and a tea kettle that you can put there. You can even buy tea cups. Right now there is summer stuff available, and that means an ice cream stand, which I can't grab from here. Apparently I'd have to go in my inventory, but ice cream cones and an ice cream stand you can place on there as well. You can make a few of these. You can move the handle down so that it is this way, and you can make it a little bit smaller as well, and then just kind of keep moving it. Oops, wrong way. Just kind of keep moving it to where you want. And then you have a sideways opening cabinet too. And you can make a whole row of these. You can make one that looks like a refrigerator. You can make one that looks like a refrigerator. Let's get rid of the rest of this stuff here, like so. And turn on one dorm light here so we can see. You can grab this and it has this sort of deal to it. You can make it look like shelves or a refrigerator, and you can store the little food looking items inside of there if you want. You can also use this as a dining table, a table for two. There's a bigger version in here, a big square version for like a party table, and then a longer rectangle version as well. You can do all sorts of things with this one. Here's the square one, almost like a game or a card table. You could do that and have a little dining space in here to eat at. Say you don't want to have a kitchen in your dorm because that doesn't make sense to you, but you do want to have your own little eating area. You can make a little dining room here like this. And put little chairs here. They have chairs you can use here, folding chairs, and like almost bar stool type chairs, fancy chairs, and desk chairs. They have just all sorts of different chairs that you can put up against the table here and have a little dining spot here, a little office spot there, and then back here a little living room spot here. Now let's switch rooms and I'll show you what I did with my Campus 3 dorm room. Let's get rid of all of this stuff here on the screen so you can see it a little bit better. So this is the dorm that I made for Campus 3, and imagine this is the hallway. So these two windows would not be here, and this door would lead into the hallway. You walk in, you have the bedroom here. I used that Teen Dreams platform here to create a wall, and then the curtains to create a curtained off area. We've got a couple of nightstands here and some pillows. Then I have a little living room spot here that I created. A little office spot here that I've been working on. And we've got the little kitchen area here. I might put a little dining spot right here next to this kitchen buffet type thing. And obviously it would look better if the bedroom and the living room had a nice fluffy rug in them. I also hung those lights in each of the 4 rooms. I am considering using another Teen Dreams thing here to separate these 2 rooms as well, or maybe 2 of them, to create a separated area, but that has a walk-through right here perhaps. And then maybe this would just be a solid wall here with maybe some paintings or a side table and a mirror or something, kind of like an entryway. I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna do it in the future. This was just kind of where I started and then stopped. I do know that at some point they also added in this thing here. Will it let us try it? Let's see. There we go. And it says it's an accent wall. I would think you would need a few of those though in order for them to work right. Okay, I did not know you could do that, but on this one, you can, oh, this one allows for doorways. Okay, see, like I said, I am not an expert in this, so you can use this to make that door, excuse you, I'm recording a video here. You can use this one to make that doorway between the 2 that I was talking about, and then just fill in the rest of the spots with these. That's pretty nice. I didn't realize they added something like that in. That would be a great added addition to this, and then I can use my curtains on the actual windows where they belong. But yeah, those are just my tips and tricks. Maybe I'll do a speed build video. Don't buy it for now. Maybe I'll do a speed build video in that blank dorm room that I was just showing you a minute ago, redoing something similar to this but using the accent walls instead of the curtain method. And I'll post that here on this channel in a couple of weeks. But those are just kind of my tips and tricks for how I build in Royal High. And I'm going to be honest with you, it takes a long time to get enough money to just buy the amount of stuff that I have in here unless you buy the Game Pass. If you seriously love this game and you really think you're gonna do a lot of building in this game, the Game Pass is definitely worth it because you will build up your diamonds so much faster, and all of this stuff in here is very expensive to purchase, so it is worth it. If it's just a fun little game that you play on the side sometimes, don't expect to get too much out of your dorm room. It's really hard, and it took me a really long time just to get enough money to do the amount of stuff that I have in here. And some of this stuff I got for free. I got the fireplace for free back when they were still doing advent calendars. I got actually, I don't think I got anything else. Oh yeah, I got the backpacks for free because I got them. They're like outfits. When you buy outfits and accessories and stuff, you can put that stuff out on display too. Obviously, the phone and computer are free, but I think everything else I had to purchase. No, the two stuffed animals and the dog were free as well, now that I think about it, because they came from, to be honest, I don't remember. I really don't remember. They came from events in the past. I think the dog came from the old New Year's Eve event they used to have, the sewer dog maze thing. But yeah, most of the stuff I had to purchase, and it was really expensive, and it took me a very long time to get there. But anyways, enough about that. That's the video. Hopefully you excuse me, I'm trying to do an outro here. Thank you. Hopefully you got some enjoyment out of it, learned something new. Go check out some other more talented builders than me, and I will see you in the next Roblox video here on my Roblox channel. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!